video, I describe how to write an email containing the description of a business problem, such as a problem with a software program or a product you've received. This poorly written email from Sue to Brenda doesn't give Brenda enough to know what the problem is. As a result, Brenda will send an email back to Sue asking about the details, and Sue likely will send another incomplete email, resulting in another round of questions. Writing clear descriptions of problems saves your time and the reader's time. It also helps to keep your email inbox from becoming clogged with unnecessary email going back and forth to identify the problem. This email doesn't remind the reader of what the background is. She may not recall what was to happen and why there might be a problem now. A few seconds of typing when you write the email could save the reader minutes of retrieving old emails to see what's going on. This email doesn't have enough detail. The reader should understand the entire problem based on what's in the email. That requires detail. It doesn't describe concretely what happened. Sue should have described what she did, saw, and heard. She should have included who did what. Finally, it contains no next action or recommendation. Sue is closer to the problem, and her insight about what to do next will help Brenda. Including a recommendation also avoids the problem of Sue's suggesting a solution and Brenda's having to explain why the solution won't work in the circumstances. In the rest of this video training module, I'll explain how to write a clear description of a problem. This is Sue's email to Brenda after she finishes this Business Writing Center course. When she receives this clear email, Brenda likely has all she needs to solve the problem right away. In the example email, Sue begins by explaining why the reader is receiving this now. She must include all the detail Brenda needs to recall what the issue is and the actions the people involved were to take. In this case, Sue has said she would talk to Layton Associates to find out whether the audit report would be ready this coming Friday. She explains that she called and when she called. She follows with a description of the problem. The description of the problem must be concrete, with sensed details. Sensed details mean what the writer heard, saw, or did. Instead of just writing, Layton reports that they won't have the report on time, she states all the details of what happened. The writer shouldn't try to judge how much detail the reader needs. She should simply include it all so the reader has what she needs to understand and solve the problem. She states who made the statement and what he said. She defines what she means to be sure it's clear by including the date by which Barry Fitzsimmons said the report would be ready. Sue then states the action she performed. Describe any actions being performed or planned to solve the problem. In this case, she told Barry that Brenda would call. Sue ends the description of the problem by giving Brenda Barry's email address. That saves Brenda time because she doesn't have to retrieve the address. Any concrete details you can give to the reader will save your reader time. When all of your readers do the same for you, you'll end up with an extra half hour or so every day that you normally have to waste looking up information those writing to you should have included in their messages. Sue then gives her recommendation. She's been working on this project and was the one who contacted Barry Fitzsimmons. Her understanding and recommendations will help Brenda formulate a solution to the problem. Finally, Sue states what her next action is. She indicates that she's available to help, but is on hold waiting for whatever Brenda finds out. She ends with her contact information. Sue's clear email will eliminate the ping-pong back-and-forth emails Brenda would exchange trying to understand the problem and formulate a solution. When everybody in the company writes like this, it will reduce email inbox clogs and time spent writing email. These are the critical points required to write a clear email describing a problem. Use a courteous, professional tone. Introduce yourself if the reader doesn't know you. If the reader could feel blamed or otherwise negative about the message, start with a buffer that gives the reader your positive feelings about the situation. Explain why the reader is receiving this now. Describe the problem, including all of the concrete details. State the action you want the reader to take. Give the reader all the details to help him or her perform, such as email addresses or phone numbers. State your recommendation. State the next action. Provide contact information, even if you believe the reader may have it. Follow the guidelines in this training video to write an email describing a problem that gets the answers to your questions with the first email.